If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And
when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta "Tank" Davis have been trading words for a while, but no one expected tensions to explode until now. When asked how a fight with Crawford at 147 would go,
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147?
147.
Shit, I tapped that trend. You know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chance.
I already know.
Davis smirked and said, "Man, he knows what happens. He's going to sleep." With fight week approaching, Davis is wrapping up training for his 31st fight, aiming for another knockout. He and Roach recently held a private press interview in Brooklyn, near the fight venue. Meanwhile, Crawford, in town since Keyshawn Davis's fight, made a bold statement.
Since Keyshawn Davis's fight against Dennis Baranchik.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys.
Tank knows what's up when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. After staying in New York, Crawford planned to head to Saudi Arabia,
alongside Claressa Shields and some other top boxers.
But instead, he unexpectedly crashed Davis's press meeting. When Davis confronted him about recent comments,
to watch Shakur Stevenson take on Floyd Schofield. In Gervonta Davis and Roach.
When Davis confronted him about recent comments, the tension boiled over into an all-out brawl, sending shockwaves through the boxing world.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Crawford didn't back down. He admitted to making the comments and even dared Gervonta Davis to do something about it. But before Davis could react, Crawford struck first, shoving him before others quickly jumped in to break it up. So what really went down? And what exactly did Crawford say to ignite this latest feud? The 37-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, has done more than most fighters dream of since turning pro in 2008. A 4-division world champion, he became undisputed at super lightweight and welterweight. Now, as he prepares for a massive clash with Canelo Alvarez, Crawford is making bold statements, calling out a reigning champion for being too arrogant.
Sal Canelo Alvarez later this year.
I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around.
Speaking on the Cigar Talk podcast, Terence Crawford didn't hold back when discussing Gervonta Davis, the WBA lightweight champion. He made it clear, he simply doesn't like the 30-year-old from Baltimore. "I just don't like that dude, man. Like, really don't. There's nothing about him I like," Crawford said. "He's just one of those arrogant guys who hides behind what he has, always surrounded by security. He acts tough in the limelight, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be like that." When asked if he at least respects Davis as a fighter, Crawford admitted, Yeah, he's damn good. He's got power, speed, and skills. But his personality, his attitude, nah, I don't respect that at all.
I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
With his showdown against Canelo set to take place,
a fight between these two American stars seems unlikely anytime soon due to the huge weight gap. Crawford's last bout was at 154 pounds, and his upcoming clash with Canelo is set at 168 pounds. Meanwhile, Davis has never fought above super lightweight, with most of his dominance at lightweight, where he remains unstoppable. Holding a perfect 30-0 record, Davis has proven to be a puzzle no opponent has cracked. He currently reigns as the WBA lightweight champion in one of boxing's most stacked divisions, one that fans are eagerly hoping will be fully unified soon.
I know him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, like, his core personality and his ways.
Vasyl Lomachenko owns the IBF title. Shakur Stevenson is in possession of the WBC belt. Baranchik on Valentine's Day with a sickening body shot KO.
Vasyl Lomachenko holds the IBF title, Shakur Stevenson owns the WBC belt, and Keyshawn Davis recently won the WBO strap with a brutal body shot knockout on Valentine's Day against Dennis Barboza. Terence Crawford was there to support his training partner and later told Fight Hype that Gervonta Davis wouldn't stand a chance against Keyshawn or Shakur. Tank knows what he's up against, Crawford said. If he fights Shakur or Keyshawn, he knows what's coming. He picks guys who aren't mentally strong enough to challenge him. Sure, they have skills, but they can't sustain it. But Shakur and Keyshawn? They're the ones who will hand him his first losses.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
Both Shakur and to the beating Crawford dished out on Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023.
Both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis share the same mindset and recently discussed a potential fight with Gervonta Davis in exclusive interviews with TalkSport.com. Over the past few weeks, Keyshawn has confidently compared a matchup with Gervonta to the one-sided beating Crawford gave Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 for the undisputed welterweight title. I see myself doing the same thing to Gervonta that Terence did to Spence, Keyshawn told TalkSport.com. His style is perfect for me. I'm young and I don't think it lasts 12 rounds. But if it does, I'm ready. I'm smarter than him inside and outside the ring. Period. The only thing people talk about is that one punch.
Guys that everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not gonna...
I've got power and I've knocked guys out with one punch. But he's done it over and over, Keyshawn Davis admitted. We all know Gervonta Davis has that one-punch knockout ability, but no one truly knows what I'm fully capable of yet. I've only had 12 fights and been competing at an elite level for just 3 years. My next fight against Ivan Baranchyk will be my 4th at this level, so there's still a lot people haven't seen. I'm better than what I've shown so far. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has been chasing a fight with Gervonta Davis for years without success. I don't know why it hasn't happened, but I do know who can make it happen, Stevenson told TalkSport.com. He's the biggest pay-per-view star in boxing, so it's up to him to make the fight.
Be able to keep it up that whole fight. And them two guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his first hit.
Turkey Alalshik can. Turkey has got the money. Lamont Roach.
Yes.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah.
The ball is in his court. I can't send him an offer. Turkey Alalshik can. Turkey has the money. I don't have the kind of cash to offer Gervonta Davis a big deal, Shakur Stevenson said. I don't know why the fight hasn't happened. He's just a weird guy. Honestly, I don't have much respect for him. Davis is set to return March 1st in Brooklyn against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he wins without issues, he's expected to face one of the 3 reigning champions next.
The entire boxing royalty marked their presence at the London Ring Awards, brought together the best boxers of today in London this weekend.
Vasyl Lomachenko appears to be the frontrunner for Gervonta Davis's next fight. Davis's team reached out to the Ukrainian technician last year, but Lomachenko took a break from boxing. However, the recent heated exchange between Davis and Terence Crawford traces back to the Ring Magazine Awards in London this past January, where Davis was noticeably absent. Boxing's biggest names gathered for the Ring Magazine Awards, but a few were missing, most notably Gervonta Davis. Despite his 30-0 record with 28 knockouts, Davis wasn't there. Some believe he wasn't invited due to his strained relationship with Riyadh Season and Turkey Alalshik, who also owns Ring Magazine. Unhappy about being left out, Davis made his feelings known through a series of now-deleted social media posts. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, Davis vented, but Terence Crawford saw an opportunity to mock him, reigniting their rivalry. Crawford's jab escalated into a full-blown social media feud, adding fuel to the tension between the two champions. After deleting his posts, Davis had already set the stage for more drama, taking shots at event organizers and boxing figures. His frustration seemed aimed at Riyadh season officials, though the exact reason for his absence remains unclear. Crawford, however, took full advantage of the situation, intensifying their rivalry. This isn't the first time Crawford and Davis have exchanged words, with Crawford recently meeting Turki Alshik and heading toward a mega fight with Canelo Alvarez. He still found time to take a shot at Davis. He posted, "I see somebody's mad they didn't get invited to the Ring magazine gala. I remember when they left me out, so when I finally got in, I crashed the party," followed by laughing emojis. This was a direct response to Davis's deleted rant, but some fans had already saved screenshots. To understand why Crawford fired back, we have to look at Davis's original posts. Though deleted, some publications reported them. In one, Davis wrote, "Why didn't they invite everyone? But they invited the people they deal with. Get out of here. Stop bum eating." His frustration didn't stop there. He took aim at Eddie Hearn, calling him a little rat and accusing him of manipulating boxing politics. Davis then criticized Turki Alshik, saying, "Why don't they just fight each other since they have such a deep roster? This guy doesn't know anything about boxing." Yet they're turning to him. His words seemed directed at the Riyadh season boss, questioning why boxing's power was shifting outside its core. Davis made it clear he wasn't impressed with the current leadership. He also criticized fighters who leave the US for big paydays overseas, claiming they end up fighting in empty arenas. His rant, which continued for days, eventually circled back to Crawford, as Davis bragged about his wealth in a direct jab at him. That didn't sit well with Crawford, who responded. Davis claimed he made more money than Crawford, suggesting Crawford was chasing greatness just to make decent money. Crawford fired back, "The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is, 'I have more money than you. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe a single dollar in taxes. You can't buy anything I can't buy, fact. Let's see who has the longest lasting money. Smart guy." The exchange intensified, with Davis refusing to back down. While fans enjoyed the drama, it raised questions about Davis's future. Just last year, at a press conference for his fight with Lamont Roach, he shocked everyone by announcing his plan to retire by 2025. If that's the case, some wonder why he's so concerned about missing the Ring magazine awards. Regardless, this isn't the first time Crawford has taken shots at Davis. After defeating Errol Spence Jr. and becoming undisputed champion, Crawford heard about Davis claiming he could beat him at 147 pounds. Speaking on The Breakfast Club, Crawford shrugged it off. "If he thinks he can just come up to 147 and knock me out, he's got another thing coming." A Crawford versus Davis fight may never happen, but Crawford's focus is clear: his mega fight with Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis may currently be 3 weight divisions apart, but they've both fought in the same classes before. Crawford started his career at lightweight, where Davis is now a world champion. He then became undisputed at super lightweight, a division where Davis has also held a title. Over time, Crawford moved up, dominating the welterweight division before making his 154 pounds debut last year. Meanwhile, Davis remains at 135 pounds, holding the WBA world title and knocking out every challenger. The Baltimore power puncher has previously claimed he'd knock Crawford out, perhaps jokingly, but the naturally bigger Crawford has warned Davis not to test his limits against a much larger opponent.
The one against Canelo Alvarez.
Gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
While a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis is unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be one-sided. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts. "That's a damn good fight," he said, believing it could be competitive if fought just below welterweight. He even gave Tank a fair shot. "I don't see anyone beating Bud unless they're way bigger than him. But don't overlook the fact that if he and Tank fought around 145 pounds, that would be one hell of a fight, you feel me?" Both Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have incredibly high ring IQs, but Tank brings something Errol Spence didn't: explosiveness. "In boxing, an explosive fighter can go far," said Roy Jones Jr. I was only able to move up in weight because I had that explosiveness. Keeps opponents in check. For now, Crawford and Davis will continue on separate paths. Crawford is chasing a mega fight with Canelo Alvarez, requiring a 14 pounds jump to 168 pounds, while Davis faces Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st at Barclays Center. According to his latest press conference, Davis still plans to retire by the end of the year.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting the...
While a showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez seems on track, Gervonta Davis has now thrown himself into the mix. Reports suggest that Crawford and Canelo have agreed to fight this year, setting up a massive clash between two of boxing's top pound-for-pound fighters. The fight reportedly came together after both met separately with Saudi boxing chief Turki Alashik in London, following a year of speculation. While most boxing fans are eager to see Crawford versus Canelo, it seems that one of the sport's biggest stars, Davis, isn't as impressed by the matchup. Canelo is the king. It's a great fight, and I'd love to see how it plays out. Canelo has been making smart moves, said Calvin Ford. He also reflected on Terence Crawford's last fight, where he moved up to 154 pounds to face Israel Madrimov but didn't secure a stoppage victory. It was his first fight at that weight. You can't say he didn't carry his power up. He had to adjust. It's like when Benavidez moved up, it's all about adapting. I hope Crawford gets another fight at that weight to prove himself. If he struggles, then we can start questioning.
But Crawford, on the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna be the beat bud unless somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that
Middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez and Tank out in March against Lamont Roach Jr. Coming clash with Lamont Roach Jr.
if him and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good daggone fight. You understand me? Matter of fact, I'm saying that's a good damn fight. You understand me? Because they both have very high IQs and Tank is very explosive. That's the one thing Tank got there.
While Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is the fight that looks set to be made,
with Gervonta Davis seemingly unimpressed by the Crawford versus Canelo fight, his coach, Calvin Ford, has also shared his thoughts. The debate over who would win between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to heat up. The potential fight, featuring two pound-for-pound legends, would be one of boxing's biggest events, but it comes with a challenge. Crawford would need to jump up in weight. In an interview with Fight Hype, Ford weighed in, and from his comments, it sounds like he's leaning toward Canelo as the likely winner. That weight jump is no joke, Ford said, hinting at the uphill battle Crawford would face.
with Saudi chief Turki Alashik in London over the weekend. Crawford and Canelo square off.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
This Terence Crawford Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
4 pounds to defeat Israel Madrimov, but was unable to get the stoppage.
But it's a good fight. I like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, as far as fights and whatnot,
That's all for now. Stay updated with the latest boxing news, highlights, and action by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, peace out. Boxing glove fire.